So it is Thursday, January 29th. I am Miss Marie, and this is Giving to Straight Live from the East Coast. What are you grateful for today? Happy birthday to all Aquariuses that are celebrating today. And how to know today what card you embodying. Yeah, so let's get into it. Make today amazing. What are you grateful for? And what is your soul truth for today? Let's see what the energy looks like for you. All 12 zodiac signs. Let's see what the energy's like. My throat is a little bit, it's a little heavy. It's a little challenge today, so we're gonna move through slowly. Can I raise my voice? So I'm just gonna read the soul truth, not the mantra or the action. Just one quick message for you. Aquarius is 2. Pisces. Let's see what it looks like today. Just one quick soul action. Hello, Brooks Bank. How you doing? Good morning. I'm gonna go nice and slow because my voice is a little harsh, and I must maintain it with this change of weather. Let's go ahead. Aquarius through Pisces. One more. And thank you. Let's set that frequency. One more. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Aquarius, what are you grateful for right now? What are you grateful for right now? That is the soul truth. That is what your soul is asking you. Aries, where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? And what will take for me to feel well? Let's go ahead to Taurus. Am I willing? Once I'm done with the whole zodiac sign, and we're going to go ahead into the collective. If you have a question, Gemini, do I believe I'm worthy? Cancer, do I surround myself with people who lift me up? Leo, what are my dominant emotions that run my life? What are they? So emotions, we go through this wide range of emotions. So anger, jealousy, hate at the lowest vibration, kindness, happiness, joy, peace, all that in love in the highest frequency you could connect with clarity and joy. Let's go ahead to, do I know all my strengths and where am I using them? This is for Virgo. Libra, am I clear on what my soul really wants? Scorpio, what expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? Sagittarius, how does my body want to move today? Capricorn, what passion am I ready to pursue? And Pisces, to where does my soul want to travel? I'm going to try to see if I get a little pep. Boy, once I get that out of the way, let's go ahead. And from whom can I release my judgment right now? This is for the collective. So we're going to move into judgment. From judgment. And so when we truly judge people, we don't really have time to love. Love doesn't judge. But we constantly judging others because of our own insecurities. To truly awaken and to understand that we all are imperfect and nothing is permanent. So when we judge, it's because of fears. So just ask yourself today, who am I going to cast a judgment? This is something that I see in myself. So, your soul mirrors other people. And if you're not in a position, or it could be somebody that's in a position, that makes you uncomfortable. Do you help them or do you judge them? So just be mindful of that today. Judge not that you don't be judged. Let's go ahead with the collective and let's see what it is for today, January 29th. One more. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go ahead. All right. Judgment. And the last one that we have, where was it at? I just finished doing this. Anyway. All right, so we just finished. Today, the judgment card is there. High Priestess. Wow. And the Ten of Cups. All right. The Tower. And the Five of Wands. So between the 5 and the 10. Hey, Lamix. Hi. So a lot of times, the judgment card is a card of awakening, to truly be awakened, to get that Christ consciousness, right? It requires a level of integration, because it's like the ego and the higher self, right? There's sounds, there's activation that goes on when you are this threshold, right, of understanding. When somebody mirrors you, all right? But anyway, we're talking about the inner child, because the higher self wants you to parent these two get together, they deposit themselves as a child, and once they do that, the integration happens. Anyway, at the flip side of you, like going back into the things that you used to do, your old patterns. So this is reviewing your old patterns when you get to this awakening. All right, so you have the divine masculine and feminine. And so anyway, the sarcophaguses that are there, it's like when we truly, like, some of us, without being safe, we go with the heart, we move our emotions way ahead without knowing if we're safe. But when we find ourselves later on in this place here, because it wants to talk about so many different things, all right? Because you got Uranus here, you got Jupiter's energy, which is all about the mind, right? The expansion of your consciousness and understanding ourselves. So you could even see this card as Pluto or Uranus, which is causing you to change, or to even ask yourself why these things are currently happening in your life. What lessons have you ever learned? Do I have cords? Oh, you want that question? Okay. So anyway, the judgment card is just about what is deep meaning, right? When we finally get to this place of realization that, you know, do we protect can I protect myself? Can I be vulnerable? Because it's about, right, the self authority, where I no longer have to explain, overgive, overstretch, going blindly. And so, yeah. So let me go ahead to your question, because it'll take me forever to explain. Yeah, I'm not in the mood to explain, because when I relax, I feel things attached to me. Really? All right, because I feel I feel your energy is lingering. Ouch. All right. So anyway, we'll come back to that judgment card. And to truly understand the vulnerability and speaking our truth, even when it's uncomfortable. So the inner child is all about you. The inner child wants you to parent it, but the ego gets involved, and the ego forces you to do things from your own intellect, with your own intellect, has personality. It reacts, it casts judgment, and it doesn't leave room for love, you know. But when you do things from the divine feminine and masculine energy, when they're integrated, you go to your higher self. And that's understanding that the inner child needs to be healed and parent. A word that sounds like fake. Oh, it went away. Like Leonis, which sign? When you're relaxed, how relaxed are you? Let's find out here. Let's give you a soul truth energy. Let's see what the energy looks like for you. One more. Thank you. All right, here we go. Where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, your mind, and your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. You need to do a clutter detox of your schedule, your home, and your innermost self. Make space for clarity. Make space, and then clarity will come. So what are they telling you here? How do you resonate with that energy? Are you doing a lot, or are you not doing anything? Because any action you take has an equal. You know what I mean? Like if you put this out, this is what you're gonna get. If you don't put nothing out, you're not gonna get anything. So go ahead. You comment on your energy. I'm gonna put it back up for you. A lot of times when we don't have a busy schedule, or even if we have a schedule that's overbooked, right? We feel like you know, overwhelmed, or it could even be your overdriven nature. You know, a lot of time our restlessness. So how do you understand this card? Are you doing a clutter detox of your mind, your schedule? Are you making time for sacredness, or do you just relax and you stay in your mind? That's what this is what the energy is telling you. So instead of filling yourself with busy work and things to do, let me see what energy, because let's see what you get here. You got to come on in. Come on in. Come on in, Brooks Bank. And let's see what is going on. Oh, you haven't been doing a lot. You just been sleeping. Do you understand why or no? Do you understand why? Thank you. You know why you're sleeping a lot or no? Let's go ahead and hear. Oh, it's the moon's energy. It's your moon. So you're not active. This is emotion, or like your driven, like your drive, your passion, like your energy is low, your water. The water means the level of emotions. Remember that this represents emotions, all right, and uncertainty of the future. So it's got to do with your moon cycle. See, this is what you gotta learn. You gotta learn your shadows. I feel pulses when they make me sleep. All right. So you got the death card. All right. So look, we have the moon phases. Right now we're in the waxing gibbous. Okay. And that phase is all about continuing to do your manifestations, doing the shadow work. Because it's like, let me tell you something here. And remember, these are for entertainment purposes. Entertainment purposes only. But if you don't see your shadows, because you can't see them, but you know, because it's an action, it's a reaction, right? So knowing when your shadows act up, so you can integrate them, all right? Or they need integration anyway. So you look between these two, the black and white, all right? And without going to either extreme to reposition yourself, but you need integration, all right? So look, let me see if I can explain this card. You got the 7 and the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to put this over because I fell to the bottom. So without me going into this whole philosophical energy of the high priestess, because this represents Sol moon, letting the sun moon penetration happen. When we integrate the sun and the moon, we don't choose sides with it. We sit with the energy. We sit in the center of it. I don't know how much I could explain this card without understanding there are, of course, certain patterns. All right, adjusting them. Not only adjusting them, but really repositioning yourself here and aligning yourself with the right, because you're misaligned here. The emotional regulation that needs to happen, because this can contain, there's a lot of emotions here, something, a lot of things overwhelm you, but most important, the uncertainty of your future. All right, a person that's in a position of leadership, he has to set boundaries. Okay, first importantly. Okay, but here when you get like when your moon energy, when the moon is real low, you're gonna feel low, you're gonna feel real sleepy. When the moon is high, of course, you're gonna feel energetic. Okay, especially when the waxing crescent, because it's starting to get its power, and you'll grow with that energy, and then the waxing give you taken on to your next phase before the full moon. All right, so there's something that you're not doing here. Politically speaking, political. I'm gonna talk about this card in a political reference, and I really never use it politically, but you understand that. Okay, who's in higher authority here? All right. So when we look at the Pope, the Vatican, okay, because if you look at the kings, they mostly represent president, right? So even if you look at the Senate, okay, if you look at the Senate could make decisions that will impeach the president. I really never talk about politics here, but in this case, it could be something with your political affiliations or the Catholic. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to end your political affiliations, your beliefs because it's about the things that challenge you. All right. So when we look at that, even if you're in a position of power, there could be somebody higher that's going to say, you know what, you're going to get impeached because there's things that there are things that are in the natural order of the universe, even here on Earth, as above so below kind of energy. So you understand that integration is needed, right? So the president can do a lot of things. It can. There's somebody always higher than he is. All right, just like the president. The kings were beneath, right? So this is why they're here. This system ended a long time ago. So the Vatican and the Pope are now they are higher than if you could say the president or the kings, all right? They were always higher than the kings. So understanding your political affiliations, the authority, government, what are you really pushing for here? Because the challenge is because look, even if the ground is not steady, all right, this has nothing to do symbolically, meaning clothing means something different here. Okay, this is not one sock off, one shoe on. This is an uneven footing, uneven. The ground is uneven. So do you stand your ground onto your beliefs, right? Because you understand when you understand that the ground, like we're not gonna be promised even ground. So even where life takes you, you need to learn how to, not in the, like you might be challenged here more when you're under pressure. All right. So do you crumble under pressure when things collapses? Do you regain composure? You understand? So this card is really, really deep, and people don't really understand it because you got to understand the symbolism behind the clothing, your persona. All right. So how's your personality when challenges arise? Do you stand your ground? Do you fall under your belief system here? So it's all about your your beliefs. Do they challenge the things that you challenging yourself versus what other people's believe or your beliefs? All right. But at the end of the day, we got the inner child, and then we're talking about the unconscious and conscious mind. All right. So there's a lot of things here that might be uncertainty at life anyway. Because even things that happen, right? Because we're not promised balance. We need to continue to put that balance. All right. So anything at the end of the day, see, look, you're invited here. All right. Even if in love. All right. When it comes to love, do you invite somebody up with you? Okay. Or do you walk away here? Because we're always going to be challenged. Things are not going to be always be even. All right. So do you hold your ground? Because remember, do I stand my ground? Do I hold it, or is the ground holding you? You understand me? So this is really, really deep to understand and uncover this energy. All right, because whatever it is here, this is someone that is in the middle. You're in the middle, claiming your place. Okay, not because you're aggressive. Okay, the energy here is not aggression. It's because you refuse to be pushed down. So even though external authorities, political affiliations, right, and even the of course the universe is going to try to push you to center yourself, to integrate, so you could rise higher and stand your ground in the position. Do you understand what I'm reading to you, or do you don't understand it? Hey, Eleanor. All right. This person is very protective. So even if it's not you or them, okay, whatever, however you resonate with this, because I'm gonna try to explain this card, the most misunderstood card here, and then we're gonna look at the clothing in here, right? Because it represents what? Your readiness, your social armor. Look, he got armor, okay? The clothing here represents your persona, all right? So you got the one sock on, and you got this got a shoe on the other one. All right. As you transition here, you're not fully settled into this new level yet. All right, but you're already being challenged here. Do you understand me? You really got to understand, when you really understand this card, and I mean, it goes so deep that I want to give you a little bit so you can really understand here. You really got to listen to what this is telling you, psychologically layer anyway. And there's a lot of psychology that I might want to dish out, but you might not understand it. So I'm going to go very slowly so you can understand the psychological layer of this card, okay? And what the sock footed represents here. You got to really understand this, all right? So when you really start to this, all right, you really start to becoming, because it's like gravity itself, right? Let me see here now. Okay. Let me see how much, because this is a liminal state anyway. So when I know this card in its psychological, in its symbolism and intuitive here, immediately I know what is going on, but that'll be so quick. I'm done. Stand your ground. You know what you got to do. What does that leave you at? I know them intuitively, symbolically connected, and then psychologically, I can't really explain it to you. All right, because I have very minimum. All right, I don't have the what do you call it? The certificate. I'm gonna just leave it there. The certificate. So when you really understand this energy, okay, you really start to change things. Okay, so do you have the courage? And when you under pressure, how do you keep this energy going? All right. Even if you outnumber here by external authorities, people, all right, even the moon's energy. Oh, he asking Eleanor. Okay. Even if you misunderstood here, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. Remember, this brings uncertainty. Even if you misunderstood here, you're not gonna back down easily. You're not gonna back down easily, right? These systems are done already. All right. So this is more about not a death, but a transformation of character. Okay. Do you react when your position is threatened? All right. You more listen. If you're interested in what Eleanor, I don't think you're ready for this. We're gonna have to let the emotions regulate. Really understand the moon's energy. All right. Because I don't think that right now you really understand that. You're gonna have to, when I break that card down, then you're really gonna start waking up. But right now I don't think you're doing that. I don't think that you're really understanding it. All right. So I cannot just come here, and this is one of the reasons I stopped doing tarot until I really could break that card down, because it goes way beyond that. With God, again, I was lost, but I found my. It's not even about that. You'd have. You're saying Eleanor. All right. So really unfolding the energy and the unfooted, uneven it, because it's on something is uneven in your life, but that happens. Well, that we got external forces at play here. It's just not it happening to you. This is a time to give yourself, you know what? You said things, all right? People are gonna test you when you up in that on that mountain. They're gonna test you when you elevate it. All right? When you elevate it, people are going to test you. All right? But don't forget about Eleanor because you're gonna miss the message. And then when you ask, I'm not no ever again if you don't ask me something different because then it will be lost. You would be lost in translation forever. All right, and this is for entertainment purposes only. All right, so that the ground is shifting for you. All right, you don't listen. The only thing I could tell you here, the uneven footing in the energy. It's a phase. It's not it's not a lifestyle. Pay attention. It's not a lifestyle. So you don't want to stay in that lifestyle. Okay? You'll still be coming. Just say this. I'm still becoming, and I refuse to fall backwards. You refuse to fall backwards. Becoming sometimes is better than being. Okay? Becoming is sometimes better than being. When you becoming, sometimes the information that you get is more valuable, like the things that you learn that really to try to get to that, you know, place of not even authority, leadership, but somebody that's really true to themselves. You understand? Becoming sometimes is better, only sometimes, all right? But when you really go into this energy, all right? Because whatever it was here, right? It was of urgency, all right? You didn't plan to defend. You responded because you have to. You had to do this, all right? So you were called into this position suddenly, and you didn't have what? Time to fully armor up, okay? So basically, you rose before conditions were perfect. So nothing in life is perfect, all right? Gotta stand in your power. Oh, it's way deeper than that. It's way. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get the Wheel of Fortune. It's way deeper than that. But when you get the priestess, the high priestess, be careful with superficial information. Watch your moon cycles. You get highs and lows, right, in life. That's the two high tides, the two low tides. Understanding when your shadows react, because there's something that you want, and if you're not prepared for it, you're not gonna know it because it's a reaction, right? So you can't see your shadows because they react. There's some things that you want to do here, but you're not prepared for it. So when it comes, because it's something that we almost have, okay? And if you don't react to it, or you react to it too late, or you just like, whatever, I'm going to go back because I'm being pressured to do this and that, or I'm doing it. No, just no. All right? If you rest, I mean, we all could resonate with that at one time. And then we'll talk about the outside influences because we're going to look at the shadow and what's draining, whatever turns into drain. Like, are you constantly explaining yourself? All right? Do you have to do you feel like you have to prove your power, your worth? Are you fighting battles that don't deserve your energy? All right? Are you staying active instead of sovereign? Are you staying active instead of sovereign? The king of wands, he doesn't stay active, he stays sovereign, he stays in his self-authority. All right? So when you fully embody that energy, all right, not guessing yourself, but really standing in that power and that, you have to understand that you have to see he's wearing an armor because he's protected. No, you don't understand the death card. He's in full armor. He is not being vulnerable. Okay? You gotta really, you gotta let the death happens, okay? And that requires so much of your vulnerability. You have to be able to be, because you're visible, but you need to be trusted. All right. But most important, you got to believe and trust in yourself. I don't know how else to put it so smallly for this short time, when you're not really going to understand. That's the most misunderstood card and the uneven footing of it. Okay? But when you surround yourself with superficial information that is not verified, is because we talk about hypotheses, those are predictions, and then we really go against each other. We start, well, let's look at it. Let's go ahead and have an open mind and your challenge versus mine instead of sticking to one book that nobody can really understand. Because it's encoded in mystery. It's esoteric. Okay? And so to decode that, you know how much time? It's like going into a library, because it's a 66 books, 88 if you're Catholic. It's an esoteric book. It's like you go into the library and you got to look through one section. You right now go get 66 books and try to decode those 66 books. See how long that's going to take you, okay? Because then you got to go look at the ancient culture and history and going into the Sumerian culture and how 6,000 years ago they were found. So no, all right? Be careful with surrounding yourself with superficial information, okay? You need to marry philosophy. And when you have, this is when you open-minded. This is when you very well rehearsed. This is when even if you other challenge your beliefs, you stay open-minded. It's okay. Even if they don't agree with me, I'm not going to just walk away. I'm not going to just, because that's where the judgment comes out. Oh, if you don't agree with me, yeah, you get uncomfortable. You're going to have to learn how to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to learn how to deal with uncertainty. But you got it there, all right? So then we're looking at the exterior of the people, right? When you stand firm, when you don't chase, when you don't prove, okay? When you don't defend who you are, all right? When you're in a position of an advantage, because you're in a position there of an advantage there. You have the total advantage here, all right? Anyway, this will be the whole life. I don't need just one card, okay? Because once the high priestess come out, see, a lot of people think that the magician emotionally, because it's going on the emotional. A lot of people think that the magician, he multitasks. He doesn't multitask. He shoots direction. He is directed. He don't have time to weigh options. He's not doing that. But anyway, listen, he didn't come out. So because you're not channeling the energy in the right direction. All right? No, those are your own beliefs. That's your own psychologically playing tricks on you. That is what it is. And I can't really talk about that, but that's where it's heading. And so that's why I say, you know what? Get a mentor. Get somebody that's going to guide you in the right direction, because those old systems are done. Okay? That's it. I mean, it goes longer than that, all right? So internally, all right? What do you do internally? It starts within. I'm really understanding your true nature. All right? Because listen, let me tell you something. One thing about the ego, it thinks ideal conditioning, like it's contingencies. What if this happened? What if that happened? What if I show up? What if this doesn't work? You got to get off the what if loop, all right? Being uncomfortable is what I'm working on. So there you go. You too, Eleanor. I think everybody, but when you look at the symbolic of it, all right? If you're waiting on perfect time, all right? Because you got to remember, the mind, it wants perfect time. It wants all resources in place. It wants all contingencies accounted for. That doesn't happen in our world. We are called to be adaptable, flexible, and of course, all right? We have to understand that. And the sooner we do that, we start opening up new pathways. We have to really understand that, all right? Your ego is always thinking condition. Everyone is predictable. There are no surprises. There are no challenges. No, that is a damn lie, all right? External approval is guaranteed. Absolutely not, because if you look at the president, he could get impeached, all right? Well, he get impeached. And I don't do a lot here with the political, but I really want to get to the political of the death card, so you can really start understanding the system and how it works. But a lot of people don't like it, so I don't really bring it up. All right. Hey, Chrissy Haya. Hey, Sweet J8. All right. So you don't hold your ground because you've internalized the mountain. So understanding that, okay? So even in love, because it's going more to love. So you're waiting for your partner to prove they deserve you. All right, because I mean after that we get the 8, and then we get the 10, the 8, the 9, and the 10. This is when you spend some time alone. So you got to learn how to come between those two. All right, waiting for timing to be perfect, waiting for everything to feel safe. Okay, none of that is necessary. Okay, love and boundaries are tested in motion, not in the calm. So when you really understand, so my boundaries are tested in motion, not in the calm of it. No, there's nothing. There's no tension. There's no tension. All right. So we got to move forward with that card. But before, I mean, they all. We got to put them in. We got to pull the pieces of the puzzle together, and then we look at our state of consciousness, our awareness, and as we're dealing with the unconscious. Not ever forget about that. Forget about what people are thinking about me when I'm in a position that I'm elevated. Can they meet me there? Can they trust themselves? So we're gonna look a little bit into that to really break it down because it's too much. It's too much. Can I know if my man loves me? All right. We gotta be, yeah, but we don't really understand it because superficial information. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna try to bash nobody because that's not the position I'm in. Is that do I have to keep proving myself over and over and over and over and over again? All right. Or you're gonna let them in and then you're gonna lose. It's like, what are you gonna do? All right. Oh, I'm gonna abandon myself to make them feel comfortable. You start making excuses. All right. So we're gonna look into because remember the psyche needs proof. All right. To stay true to myself, and because you don't only want to survive, you want to thrive, you want to flourish. Okay. You need to learn how to encode, and then the terrain is gonna change. All right. Silent ground isn't built by effort, it's built by consistency. All right, so we're going to get to the bottom of that energy. So then I guess new landscapes, all right? Things got to shift in your life. You cannot stay where it's safe, all right? So, blah, 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 blah. And it's a lot to blah, 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 blah when we look at that energy, all right? Can I stay true to myself even when love feels uncertain? I'm going to stick to what I say. Somebody's waiting for somebody to lower their standards. Nah. I'm not lowering my standards. No. Oh, no, sorry. No. And so then that threatens them because now they got to rise to the occasion. All right? And if you're the one that says, you know what, maybe they'll lower their standards. I don't think they really meant it. It's like if you get a job as a teacher, right? And some people might not think that you're worthy of that position. You understand me? So really understand the energy behind it. All right. It's got to be unquestioned at some point. All right. But anyway, so as we keep going here, okay. So, all right, let me go with another question. Oh, Shelby, everybody can resonate with that energy because we normally get there. Now, am I being tested? How much I could hold. Learning my shadows, knowing when I react, when should I react, don't overreact. You don't know everything. Stop predicting. Stop assuming that your partner's a mind reader. Oh, they should know what I like. Or, we are both in this. We're in the same energy. You're pulling the energy to new higher grounds. All right? It's going to meet you there if it's meant to last. And then understand that nothing lasts forever because structures change to give rise to new, what we have now with AI. All right? So this incomplete preparations is not incompetence, it's basically urgency, So really understanding that. For you, for whoever resonates with the 7 of Wands, and the unfooted energy that it brings, and how not to, you don't have to be so geared up and armored here, all right? When do I invite you up, and when do I walk away, all right? If that relationship isn't fully stabilized, our emotions, our commitment, the levels are mismatched. All right. Timing isn't ideal. I mean, it could be just so many things. All right. Let the trust start forming. All right. Don't abandon yourself to feel safe in a relationship. All right. No, really understand that the ground is holding you. Okay. You don't have to hold your ground. You have to stand your ground. It's a difference. And as soon as you start doing that, Nah, I'm okay here. I feel, not to feel safe. All right. You're not doing it to feel safe. All right. The ground holds you. You stand in it, and it holds you, no matter how uneven the footing is. Okay. No matter how you know always gonna be have time to prepare. All right. But all the tools that they are where they're already inside of you, so you're gonna know your reaction time, your coordination time. Okay. It's gonna go by the character, the pressure that you're under, no matter where you at. Okay. And so understanding that is very important. All right, let me go to another question. And just remember that, everybody likes a seven of wands, I'm still becoming. I refuse to fall. I'm still becoming. I'm still becoming. All right, until things, no more questions. Let your actions, let your actions speak for themselves. No more. Okay, to really truly be awakened. Okay, that purple, that sovereign energy, because you got to understand, even the temperance is still with clothing. The temperance is still got clothing, man. You guys don't understand that, you know to move those waters from within, to let that someone penetration, to cast out the light and move the waters. You got to really be in a real good position. You can't be half in and half out. You can't choose I just want to choose the calm when things are going great. No, I'm gonna react only when they grin. When they no, you gotta understand the clothing. The clothing is a big significance here, and you gotta understand the symbolism behind it. You just look at the symbolism because we got them now in emojis, and you look at ancient Egypt, we see the hieroglyphs, right? And they spoke like that. So now we get in that back, but we get in a new state of awareness. All right, it's there. We got emojis. Like you can look at 500 years from now. All right, the people of the future to come, right? Because the ships are coming in. Those are us coming back from the future, and you guys really don't understand that. And that's it took me a while to realize it. All right, we're gonna be like, oh, we left all this behind so we can remember, and there's a remembrance that starts to happen. All right, so no, you're not waiting for those ships here. You're here. All right, you're here from the future, and I know it sounds weird because you don't understand it, but once you understand it, oh shit, all right, it's mind blowing. There's a place that you could stand that you have no idea. You're not. I don't think you're ready for it yet, and I'm not ready to bring it to you quite yet until you understand this seven. All right. So when you understand that, you understand the three. Oh shit! I've been here all along. I left clues where? What? Anyway, yeah, you're already here. What are you doing? You're here. Places here. There you go. You're here. What are you doing? Why are you waiting for them ships? You're here. You are those three. You are those three, baby. You are those three. All right. So let's move past that. And that's that. You waiting for your ships to do what? Man, you are here. So anyway, you go back to 500 years when they come and find all these emojis and all this stuff. Oh, wow. This is how our ancestors communicated. This is how they show emotion. Just like we look at the hieroglyphs, they're going to start. We leaving that for them to find later on. But we're here. You're getting there, huh? You're getting it now. All right. So when I do readings, the ones that really understand, the ones that are here, the ones that, as I'm raising awareness, when I give you the card, when you have this. Hey, all right. Those that know, and those that don't know, I ask the things I don't know. Oops. I learn what I don't know. I gather other people, and then I pay forward. I pay it forward. I honor my ancestors. I bring them to the now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send that gratitude. Oh my God, I'm starting to remember things about me. That's why the judgment came out. When you really start to be awakened, you don't have time to judge anybody. All right, because then you lose. You lose. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, so the time is now. The time is now. But when people say to you, "Oh, no, you bringing them into the now." You got to bring them. This is why you're having a hard time moving forward. And that's why there could be some instability in the uneven footing. All right. Okay. How you could stay true to yourself. Okay. Even when things feel uncertain, you're safe is what it's saying. You're here. You're safe. It's saying you're safe. All right. And so, I think because we could go through the whole scenario just so you could learn, but then knowing that you're safe, okay? Because like I said, life doesn't promise you balance. We got to constantly got to keep adding knowledge, and when we want to grow in wisdom, we add knowledge. And when we get to wisdom, we detach. We don't need that. I don't need that no more. I don't need that no more. Why are you holding on to that? I'm naked. I'm naked. I am naked. I don't need it. You got it? So anyway, those that know, and those that don't know, they'll be confused because stop surrounding yourself with superficial information, things that are not verified. If I can't just go on this one little book and read a little book, I can't do that. It's not gonna give me the full details. It's not, and it's never is unless you really ask the Quora, you ask the query, you ask the Hebrew, you ask it in Hebrew, by the way, because you go into the Torah codes and you ask it, have I been married to this person? Where did I live before? Okay, you got to ask. There's a lot of questions that you have to ask. Okay, and I think so. I think most of them you got to do it in Hebrew anyway. So yeah, so it's deep, it's raw, and it's real. Okay, without doubting yourself. I mean, I didn't even get to the whole fullness of the inner landscapes and how I learned. All right, and slightly grounded and determined. You're running on adrenaline at the end of the day. Okay, more than being easy. Okay, so all right, you're welcome. So let me see. It's 4:30. So anybody has a question? Because we always gonna go back to that Seven of Wands. All right. And I'm always gonna explain it. Well, teach it. All right. It doesn't fall. It doesn't retreat, and it doesn't collapses. All right. That's what happened when we. That's what the high priestess keep telling you. All right. This is encoded in so many mystery. It's esoteric. All right. You have to really, when you understand that card, it's going to blow your mind. All right. All right. Let's go to we see Sweet AJ24, the last question. And as we move forward, because then it'll show me what you're going through and why is this challenge pressing. You now elevated and up, you're going to get tested in that area. Okay. Your weaknesses and your strengths are being tested. All right. Knowing when it already happened, if not, what else can you expect? And now things start to get even when you embody that energy. All right. Let's go ahead. No, you're not fighting anything. You're not fighting anything. I'm done. You're not going to understand that right now. You're not going to understand that. Just keep watching if you're interested. All right? You're not understand. You're still going with fighting. There's no fighting to need. You don't have to fight. You just be calm. You just be calm and let things unfold naturally. That's the only thing I can say to you. They ain't fighting for what you're fighting for. All right? There's nothing to fight for. You said it. You set your boundaries, and now you stand your ground. All right? You don't hold the ground. You don't hold the ground. The ground holds you. All right? Always remember that, the ground is holding me. It's uneven footing. But if I stand in it, it's going to hold me no matter what. You got to understand, no, fighting for what? Why are you fighting? You paranoid? No. Anyway, this is not going to be easy test, so let's go ahead with... And I came in really slow because I know my throat. But I'm going to, good day, ma'am. Can I ask any questions? Hey, D bless 7860. Hey, ma'am, to T have pure intentions for me. All right. Let's go ahead to I'll be right with you if I got time. Let's see if they take me 5 minutes. I want to know if my boyfriend loves me. Let's go ahead if your boyfriend loves you. Brooksbank, whatever you're going through, trust is still forming in whatever relationship, all right? Something isn't fully stabilized, okay? Whether it's emotions, pay attention. whether it's emotions or the commitment, okay? The emotions I might be on mismatch, all right? Or the commitment. There's a commitment. Two things, emotions or commitment, all right? Because at the end of the day, when things are encoded, like, do you accept me like this? So then you're going to, and it's just too much. All right, let me go ahead. I want to know yes or no, all right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't worry. You're gonna get to the place. You're gonna get there. Get to know your moon. You gotta get to know your moon. If you don't know your moon, you're always gonna react when there's. You don't need to react. You're safe. You're safe. You don't need to react. How can you set a boundary and then want to take it back? No, you can't. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's scared to be alone. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself. You're gonna set a boundary. Oh no, I'm gonna take it back. You got the Eight of Swords. What's going on here? They don't know yet. All right. They got the Eight of Swords. All right. What happened here? Remember, I'm gonna remind you again that they show me sometimes what happened when it comes to love and the Eight of Swords. All right. If they love you, they're not saying it. They intend to. I don't know when. All right. Where is she? Come on in. You ask for questions. They're afraid to that if they do, they probably go over. They lose themselves. All right. But they're really excited. They're in their mind about it. All right. So they're not really gonna say it to you. All right. They want you. It's like they want you to guess. All right. So the magician is all about, proactive in love. It's a really good idea, you know. But here with the Eight, because the swords are down, all right. So I don't feel trapped or nothing. I feel there's a little frustration here with them, not able to express themselves emotionally, all right. No, this is for Sweet J. But if you resonate with it, you don't have to ask the same question, okay? We all resonate with this when we hold everything in, all right. When things are easy, when there's no pressure, you know, we hold. I don't know if you're asking how long can I hold on to this? All right, I feel like I want to say something, but right, because these swords are landed. They already in the ground. Everything that had to be said was said already, except that one thing. All right. Remember, sometimes they thinking about it because the magician is here. All right, he's probably more in his mind. He might be good with his mind. He might be good with money. I don't know if they show it through money. You understand? So the Temperance card is all about they don't want to go overboard. See, this is the 14 card. All right. And so the 14th card here, when you look at 1 and 4, this is how I do tarot. I don't know if anybody, but I look at the numbers. And this is a 5. All right. So your energy is right now in the 5. Somebody could be really, really wild. There's something here. All right. I don't know if it's you. I don't know. Because somebody's really wild or were known to be wild. They don't want to say anything because of that. Because if you knew something, right? Somebody could really go on it. This person probably is known to go real ahead. You understand me? It's a kind of manipulative. Yeah, we all know that. No, this is deeper than that. You don't have no idea what this is. Okay? Physically. But you got to know people. You got to know the symbolism and you got to know the psyche of it. Okay? You got to really understand the psyche of it. All right? It's a lot of, because it's learned through childhood. It's not something that said, gee, they got to work through their things too. You got to understand this. Gee, I want to be an asshole today. I want to be manipulated. Nobody does that. This is a defense mechanism, and this is all about the ego. When you have an unhealthy ego, you learn these traits. They pass down to you genetically. All right? It's not you, me, and we all have these genetic traits. When we use manipulation as a control mechanism, because if I don't control this, I'm afraid I'm going to lose something here. All right? So you got to understand this energy. It's not like, oh yeah, manipulation. No, you got to educate yourself a little bit more. Any message that you have the plans, its intentions. All right. They might be better in their heads than in their heart. And I didn't bring in the love energy. Do you understand that, Sweet J, or no? All right. It's not manipulation like that. You really gotta go really, really deep. And where you gotta go deep where your head hurts. All right. That's when you know you learn. When you study so much that your head hurts, you already know you reach a new level. Okay. You open a new pathways. You have to be uncomfortable. All right. You have to be uncomfortable with information. All right. Because then it goes into judgment. And then, you be scared to move forward and say what you really want. You suppress your feelings, just to be this good, quiet guy, this good, quiet. It's like the good guy that's destroying your life. And I'm going to keep saying that until you understand your consciousness and other people's, you know, true intentions. You're really going to, because when you don't know yourself, you don't know other people. To truly be wise, to truly be enlightened is to know myself. And when you know yourself, right, you grow, you expand your consciousness. All right. You're not constantly, trying to see how I could get away with things or what fits me or what doesn't fit me. You stand you believe in yourself from the beginning. All right. And it's that requires a lot of therapy. That's what that requires. All right. If not, then you go. That's why doctors and therapists are rich. All right, because we require that by our own human nature. We want everything to be so predictable. And life doesn't work that way. And when it goes unpredicted, when we don't know, we constantly want to know things. All right? But that's not how life works. All right? So I hope that helped you. All right? Do they love you? Do they love you? Yeah. They're not going to say it. I don't know if they feel like they don't want to be taken advantage of because they didn't give me the 7. It didn't show me the 7. All right. You're welcome, sweet AJ24. One more question and I'm leaving. You're welcome. I don't know if she lost track. Any message? Do T have me in his plans? Oh, there you go. His plans. Let's go ahead with T. Your plans. Or maybe what's her name? Sweet. Maybe it was for her. Maybe she feels like that. All right? Maybe she's looking for the fairy tale. We all look for that. We all want that fairy tale, save me, rescue me, kind of, oh yeah, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to hold all my feelings, all my emotions. No, this is not the one. I'm going to give you what's the tea. I have to go. You should have asked. You didn't ask me the question before. I'll come back tomorrow. You gotta really understand all the cards. That's what you. When you understand that, you gotta go down to the organism. You gotta go back to that and our adaptability and what things that we use to protect ourselves. When you don't do that, you'll be lost in this energy forever. All right. I mean, we are taught to be practical, which works because practical people win. But we got to learn how to be a little bit idealistic, a little bit of believing, imaginative. We got to learn how to do that. We get so textbooky. All right. The ego. One more. Scarcity mindset. That's another one. One more. Any messages for you? This is for be blessed. Your person is broke. All right. They might be reflecting right now. All right. Money is an issue for everybody. So this is what this came out. All right. Pay attention. Scarcity tactics. Ego. So basically the ego is a beautiful instrument, right? Because it makes you want to pursue life. You get passion out of it, right? But then it has like this time or this system. that it automatically goes on adrenaline, and you can survive to that because it's your survival energy, right? So when the ego is not well integrated, right, because it has to connect to your higher self, right? So you go between the spirit and the soul, all right? They're constantly at war here. This is why we constantly want to win. This is where we get that force energy. So he's selective and has ego. I just want to see what the energy, because you asked me what are his plans, all right? Let me see here. You know what I think? I think that you're scared. Your ego's getting in. I think that was for you. I think you're scared to ask him. I think you're scared. How long you been with this person? A couple of months? I think you're scared to ask him. Let me see what you get here. What are his plans? Yeah, just by your question, I could tell. Yeah. You're scared to ask him here. Ask him the questions. Ask him the stupid questions. Ask him, or you going too ahead of yourself. A lot of times we get the judgment card. You already see yourself with this man. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Oh boy. You're with him, but you feel alone. They have plans for you. Again, money. Nearly. Okay, nearly. All right, so your position with him is safe. You're safe. Okay, you're safe. So you don't got to worry about it. All right. You want things, or I don't know, here money. Money's also is an issue. You see this 10 of cups with him already. You already see marrying, the white picket fence, blah, 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 blah. I'm not in the energy today. So please do not take this as I'm dismissive. All right. You already want it all. All right. You way ahead of yourself with emotions, and that's okay. You know, we do that. We plan. There's a plan here. All right. So, you know, when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, all right, everything is being recalibrated. Whatever you're going through, you don't got to worry about. You worry for nothing. All right. What is going on? Share me a little bit with you, because I don't want to go into this energy. You got 5, 6. This came out first, and this came out. All right. You got a fear of abandonment. You got a father in your life. You have a father in your life because you got this fear of abandonment. We all are scared of resources, not having enough money. All right. So you seen that wallet with no money. How old is this person? Never think yourself as too much. You want what every young person wants in life, or what every person truly deserves. This 10 of Cups, but that is an overflow of element, overflow with emotions. It could be the water regulation. But anyway, this is an overflow. All right? Yeah, all right? You're 39? Okay, it don't matter what age we are. We all want to have this happily ever place. But the thing with the 10 of Cups, that it could be reached. A lot of people deal with it, right? And so we got 2 children. We got 2 people. It's far away from that dream. The happily ever after, the white picket fence. We idealize that because it's better for us to put it idealize, which is okay, between idealistic and practical, right? Because no matter what happens here, life could be very uncertain, and that gets us scared, right? Oh, I am 55, all right? Oh, so he's 39, okay? So yeah, although we dream about it since we were little, yay. Keep that dream alive, because this says follow your dreams. Your dreams are beautiful. Once you let me tell you something. Once you have a dream, grab it and never let it go. But always be mindful that things, right, in life, they're going to happen. The uncertainty. Once you embrace this, right, once you embrace it, because there's things that you want here, but you're afraid. All right? You're afraid here. All right? So I'm not going to go too deep in this energy right now because of the time, because then I have to go. But in here, you already understand the cathedral. You understand the physical matter, right? Spirit and matter is here. But they tell you that in these religious organizations, they tell you that because spirit and matter is in you. All right? Wealth, success, or whatever it is, it's not measured in you. You understand? You follow your dreams, no matter how big they are. They can be no more ridiculous. Do you understand? Because it's like we got to live carpe diem, que sera, sera, right? Do I trust in tomorrow, or do I put all my trust in today? All right, because you're being measured here for something, okay, that is much that you could hold it. See, our identity gets small. See, this is not even about you, and you understand it like that, and that's okay. Our identity gets small. All right, when what happens? When we have this overflow of energy, everything in our lives is going to become like I'm cursed, because your identity, you identify with small things. I don't know if you feel like, oh, you have to grow up. This is like a grow up thing here. This is more psychological anyway at the end of the day. But when our identity is small, everything in us becomes small. All right. When we think only the 2, 4, 6, 8 people in our within us, our family, the people that we work with. When we limit our identity to only those people, then everything in your life is going to become small. It's going to be like it's me against the world. No, when from childhood we need to teach our children that, carefully, of course, because we have a lot of things that are happening, of course, that the whole world is going to support you, your dreams, your ambition. There's things that you want to do here, and sometimes, right, you haven't fulfilled this because you wrote your book according to ancient culture, but you abandon your book to take care of others. All right? And a lot of times, until you fulfill those things that you told your soul, right? This wheel, you put it, you free, it holds. So there are things that are being whole here until you do what you said you're gonna do. So when you understand yourself that you're part of this whole, all right, that it's just not you, all right? So understanding those things here, because I'm not going through this whole speech for you. All right, but you're not gonna understand who you identify with, who you are in the world, why does things happen in the world. The wheel's always in rotating. You must not abandon yourself, all right? Because you told yourself something. You wrote your book of life. So you look at these 4 sentient beings, who's in control, how to clean your genetic memory, to remember who you truly are in this world, that you don't have to go to these hidden structures, all right? That this is physical, this is the spirit and matter, and that lives inside you. That's even though you feel like, oh, I got to go to external authority, I must get to this grade to pass that grade to get here. No, when you get divinized, right? When you get divinized, all right, your divinity, your intellect, all right, and no matter where you at in the position and here, right, don't cling on to the highs when they're really high, and don't fall under pressure when it's low, all right, because the wheel's rotating. So if you cling on to the highs, you're always going to want to do life from this perspective, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't happen in that real life. So no matter what your set of circumstances are, all right, there's something that you told yourself that you're going to do, but you wrote your book, you left it in the elements. Now you must go back in the elements and find it, your genetic memory, because you got to clean it. So when you clean your genetic memory, you start to realize, oh, wow, yeah, I did say I'm going to do that. And a lot of times, things are going to be put on hold. They're going to feel frozen until you get that done, because you told yourself you're going to do it. All right? So I'm not going to sit here and BS you and say, oh, yeah, because 9 out of 10 times, but you're supposed to, because you got the 7 of Cups. All those things that are up there in your imagination, the way God creates. It's in your heart, it's in your mind, and it's in your imagination. You're supposed to live that life. The heavens must break loose before you leave this physical incarnation. All right? Because you're here in spirit, here. All right, this is here, the same thing. When you understand yourself, okay, a little deeper than this, because this, I just gave you a little bit. I always give a little bit because of the time. All right, because I will have to be with you for an hour. You understand? When you understand this deeper, all right, there's some things that you said you're gonna do. You sold your soul. So basically, like selling your soul. You sold your soul to help other people. All right, and that's okay. You can still help people as you come up. You don't abandon your book of life. Okay, that's like selling your soul. Okay, and then your identity gets small, because now you be like, wait a minute. All right, so this, I went totally different. I don't even think you understand what happened here. But the minute that you realize, all right, your worth, that this is you manifesting your thoughts into reality, and you're always going to get support, and it's not going to be what you want, because what you want is, you're not going to be able to hold it. You'll be a measure for something larger, bigger. And when you don't raise your consciousness, when you don't raise awareness, when you're not living in your true energy, everything of you is going to become an identity. It's going to shrink. It's going to feel small. All right? So with that being said, I hope you guys understand that if you don't, it's always gonna come out. And this is how I read to get you to what you truly destined for. All right, all right. No, that's not the kind of soul. No, no, that's not a shame. That's not a shame. That's not a shame. You unconsciously, your unconscious mind. Okay, you probably in another lifetime, you probably was somebody that always took care of people, and you identified with that energy. All right, I gotta go. So this is deep. All right. Okay. This return this message to the reader ASAP. That's because Miss Barbara Butler, she got an identity crisis. She identifies, all right, with this realm. See, in order for you to have heart and mind coherence, in order for you to be integrated, you must be in sovereignty. Miss Barbara Butler is not in sovereignty. She doesn't know her authority here and how we sovereign in this earth, in this physical incarnation. All right? Selling the soul doesn't mean what you think it means because you have a low level of intelligence, right? You're not understanding what selling your soul means, okay? In an unconscious form. But because Miss Barbara Butler doesn't understand anything, this is why you're here watching me, because you have a low level of intelligence. And until you raise your consciousness, when you learn how to vibrate, when you learn how to set that vibration real high, when you turn into a higher frequency, you'll be able to understand the level that I'm in. But I'm not here to help you, right? Destroy yourself. I'm not going to do that. So if you want me to give you, oh, look, you're going to be happily ever after. I'm not, if you think that that's what I'm going to do because that's what you want to believe in, then you go ahead. Okay? I'm not going to here to help you destroy something that you already, there's something that you want to buy. You can't find it because it's hitting in the elements. But because we get with this low level of consciousness, we get in this really low vibration out of fear. A lot of times we sell our soul out of fear. Maybe I'm not going to measure up. Maybe I don't got what it takes. There are dreams. There are things that are you waiting for. Okay? But because Miss Barbara Butler is a butthole, she doesn't understand that when she got her mind up her ass. So I thank you so very much. Listen, you come at me, you better be ready. Okay, Miss Barbara Butler. Okay? And block and delete it. You stay in that low level. I want to see you when you reach your high level of consciousness. I'm going to remove her. Okay? And up 24 hours. I'll keep blocking her for 24 hours. All right? That is sad that when people, yeah, LOL. When people haven't really fully awakened to their power, they don't understand this. All right? And when we stay with low level and when we stay with superficial information without verifying it, okay? I'm asking you to challenge what I'm saying to you, where to start, okay? You have to go within. Whatever you believe on, all right? Whatever external authorities you believe on. So if you believe in the church, in the Vatican, okay, then you go to the church in the Vatican. But when your identity is small, everything is on you is gonna feel like a curse. All right? And yes, I said it. You sold your soul to help others unconsciously. Now, do you go find it? Do you cleanse the elements? Do you clean your memory? All right? Or do you continue to self-betrayal and then you blame the world? All right? Your soul remembers something here. Okay? To truly reawaken, okay? You're really going to have to go. See, because you're holding the lion's mouth. Why are you holding the lion's mouth? All right. So ask yourself that. Do I speak? Do I really understand that the eternity and the infinity loop as my past and present and future are all connected? So do you have the courage to speak up when things, when uncertainty happens? Do you stay quiet? Do you suppress your feelings? All right. Why you feel like you always got to hold on? Aren't you tired? All right. So knowing that God will meet you with strength and that you don't have to go, right? Because, the Five of Cups is about you being disappointed. And don't you get tired of being disappointed? Keep repeating the same mistake, trying to make others feel comfortable. At some point, you're going to have to let people be disappointed so you don't keep disappointing yourself. All right? But when we want the easy way out, when we get stubborn in our own energy, this energy here, see this, why is this line in front of you? This line is supposed to be next to you. All right? The lion, you keep the animal checked and you're not going to let the animal run loose. It's like you have a dog. right? Are you gonna let the animal just go outside and bite everybody and do things like that? This is you. You got to check your ego. All right. A lot of it is it's intended, and the ego is very strong here. All right. But when you don't really know your identity in this world, everything, like I said, it becomes small. So please educate yourself. Yeah, that's it. So anybody that challenged me, I come in and I educate, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let you destroy yourself. Because we are good at that. Okay. And yeah, so it's sad. But at the end of the day, listen, love on yourself, take care of yourself, make sure that you really understand yourself before you think you can understand other people. But if you really don't understand yourself, I'll get messages like that. All right? And I'm not going to take that back. Stop selling your soul. Stop limiting your identity. Stop making other people feel uncomfortable. Knowing when you hit the codes, where you left it at. Find it, heal the inner child. Okay? Go back to your 5, 6 year old self and ask yourself these questions. There's things that I want to do. Am I going to make people feel comfortable, limit my identity? Do I'm going to be quiet to make other people feel big? Like, no. All right? When you understand yourself, all right? Because when you know better, you do better. All right? Learn your shadows. At least learn something. All right? If you're constantly explaining yourself like you must have to, I got to fight all these battles. No. Quiet, it says it all. All right? So, do you need to? Anyway, I'm done. Let me get out of here. I got to go shower. Yeah, Miss Barbara did trigger something in me. She's lucky I don't have enough time to educate her dumb ass. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.